Hello friends, today I am coming to you with a Valentine's Day hairstyle, and because this is my first hair video, I would love your feedback on the pace, timing, whether you prefer voiceover or live feedback, and all that stuff. For this style, you will need a hairbrush, wetline extreme gel, hair clips, a rat tail comb, edge control, hair ties that are preferably low tension, and some optional items include small rubber bands, a handheld mirror, hair beads, and then decorative hair gems or clips. I started off with a side part in my hair, and I basically just used this as a guide to create the curves of the heart because I wanted to make sure that they were even. As you can see, I got a pretty nice curve for the first part, but then things started to get a little more difficult, and I did anticipate this being the hardest part of the hairstyle, so I expected it to take a second, but it's definitely possible if you use another mirror to kind of guide you. I think that helps a lot. So if you're sitting in front of a mirror, just grab a handheld mirror and use that so you can see the side of your head and the back of your head and anything else you may not be able to see with one mirror. I also recommend using a rat tail comb with light pressure on your scalp just so that the parts are as neat as possible. At this point, I had successfully made a heart, so I was really happy, and then I just sprayed the section. I brushed it so I could continue parting. And first, you want to part straight down the middle so that you have two halves of the heart. After you put that section off to the side, you're gonna go in with your rat tail comb again, starting from, I would say, just above the middle of the heart and slightly upward, so you kind of have a diagonal straight line, as you can see here. Once you get those sections out of the way, you're going to do the same thing to the other side, and it kind of forms an upside down peace sign on your head. After that, you just need to choose one section of the heart to start on, and as you can see, I started on the most back section, and I just started applying edge control on the top half of the section because that's where I'm going to start braiding. I will say this next part of the video is for the people who don't necessarily need help on the braid itself, just more of the positioning of the hands. And in the next part of the video, there is a more step-by-step breakdown on how to actually do a cornrow. So this is where things started to get a little tricky in terms of hand placement, but for this top section of the braid, I would recommend braiding back as far as you can and positioning your hands towards the back of your head. And then once you get to the bottom half of your hair, have that ready to go. In other words, you can clip it off to the side, but I wouldn't recommend twisting it just so that you don't have to take the braid out of your hands to try to untwist it. And once you get to the very back portion of your head, you just kind of move your hands from angled up and back to angled down and keep on braiding that way. After I was done with this half of the heart, I ended up just braiding all the way down so I could have it organized, but I am going to end up brushing this out so that we can join the two halves together. So like I said, after I finished the other braid, I brushed both sections out, and to make one braid, I just took a small portion from each section and put those together, which will form the middle strand and keep the outside section separate. And then you'll have 3 strands again. I hope the video helps with this part because it's kind of hard to explain, but I think you can see what my hands are doing, and hopefully that will help you out. I just continued to braid down on this section, and once I got to the end of it, I did a little curl with my finger, and then I moved on to start the other braid on my hair. And this section is going to be better for the people who have trouble separating their hair while trying to do a cornrow and just need a little bit more guidance. After that, I went in with some edge control and detangled the section just so that it would be really easy to braid. And then I went in with my rat tail comb to separate the first section, which I'm going to split into 3 and start the initial braid. For my folks that need help starting a braid, I'm going to show y'all my pinching method. With your left hand, you're going to pinch your thumb and pointer fingers together, and that's where the first strand will go. And then you're going to pinch your middle and ring finger together, and that's where the middle strand will go. With your right hand, you're going to pinch your thumb and pointer finger together, and that's where the last strand is going to go. Next, you're going to cross the first strand over the middle strand. Then you're going to take your right middle finger and place it under the middle strand with your right ring finger on top. Then you use your left hand to repinch the first strand with your thumb and pointer while flipping your right hand across the middle and last strand. To keep braiding down, you just keep alternating which middle finger and which ring finger you use to pinch the middle strand, and you alternate which hand you flip as well, and this will give you a regular braid. On my head, I'm splitting that section, so I have those 3 strands to start with. And then to start a cornrow with clean sections, I use a rat tail comb to section off the part I'm going to add. And instead of just repinching the first strand, I repinch the strand, but also that section that I just got with my rat tail comb. I continue to do the same thing for this entire section, and as you'll see, it kind of gives you the stitch braid look without the actual stitch braid technique, and I just find that this makes my cornrows a lot cleaner, and I like the way it looks a lot more when I do it this way. Once again, I just braided the section down to finish and added a little finger curl at the end. I took a deep breath because my arms were hurting after doing those braids, but then I was done, and now it's time for the easiest part, which is just putting your hair in a puff. I went in with my spray bottle just so I can make my hair a little bit damp and easier to brush, and then I added another layer of leave-in conditioner just so that my hair wasn't super dried out from the gel, and this also makes it softer and easier to mold. I just went in with some Wetline Extreme Gel afterwards on each section I would be brushing and just kind of smoothed it over, and then I went in with my hard boar bristle brush to get it all smooth up into the puff. Next, I went in with a spiral hair tie to do the initial ponytail, and I like using these for puffs especially because I think they give me a bit more volume, and they're also more comfortable to wear because they don't hold the hair as tight. As you can see, I'm fluffing my hair around, and this is not the desired result, so I'm using this hack that I first saw Natural 85 do, where you take another hair tie and position it about an inch above the original hair tie, and this allows your hair to stand up more in the puff and gives it more of the traditional puff look instead of just looking like a sad umbrella. After that, I just went in with a soft toothbrush to give my edges a little swoop, and I didn't use a hard edge brush for this just because my hair was already being pulled on from the braid itself, and it was pretty slick from that, so I didn't need any more tension on my scalp. I also wanted to add some little accessories to my hair, so I started off with these little clips that I normally put on box braids, but I thought it would be cute at the end of each of these braids as well. For a splash of pink, I also went in with this pink pearl hair clip and decided to put it on the other side of my head, just like as a little bling or bedazzle, and to just give it a little something else. Next day, I also wanted to add some beads to my hair, so I put my hair in a bobby pin, and then I added a bead on top and pulled my hair through so that the bead was now on my hair. I was very happy because I tried to do this the day before and it was a total fail, but that was because I was trying to add them to the bobby pin all at once instead of just going one bead at a time. So I went one at a time, and I think it came out really cute and just adds to the red and pink Valentine's theme, and you can just seal it off with a hair rubber band and push the beads down to finish. Yay! So that is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed my first hair video. I love your feedback, and I would love to see if you try the style out for Valentine's Day. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!